Joining us now with his thoughts, Alexis Ohanian, Reddit co-founder, and he's also the co-founder and managing partner at Initialized Capital. Alexis, great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Glad to be on. Thank you for having me.
Where do you stand on that debate now on private market valuations?
Well, he's got a point. I think you can't really deny that there's a premium there, especially as we see later stage companies waiting longer and longer to go public. But there is also an underlying truth here, which is every industry really is now being affected by software in a very meaningful and disruptive way. And so, I think more and more companies are putting off going public for sure, and that does result in these private market sort of hype bubbles. But I do think there is still a lot of truth here in that there are very real companies that are going to be around for the long term that are just putting off that public market valuation.
What's your view towards the way in which Adam Neumann and WeWork came about? Is there a sense in Silicon Valley that everyone is annoyed with him, angered with him, that they ruined the party that everyone in Silicon Valley was enjoying? Or on the flip side, do you think you can't blame a founder of taking as much money at as good a valuation as they can get their hands on during that process?
Well, you can definitely blame a founder. Frankly, I don't think much about Adam, period. And I also try to spend as little time in the Valley as possible, in part because there are so many great companies being started all over the country. But, yes, I think a lot of companies have now had to think a lot more seriously about things like margin, which seems kind of obvious. Every business should be very laser focused on profit margin. But there are a lot of companies out there that have been diluted or maybe seduced by the idea that they could get software-like multiples, 10x on revenue, for, very not software-heavy businesses. And so I think that's a good come to Jesus for a lot of founders who maybe have been trying to have been eyeballing what Adam was in the short term, at least, able to accomplish. But look, at the end of the day, too, WeWork still represents a pretty small part of all of SoftBank's overall investments. And I think more broadly, it's still, in the grand scheme of things, is a small but important cautionary tale.